everybody, this is Sarah from Simply Sara Stampin', and it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been doing some stamp offs every week with my friend Glenda, and I've been posting those, but I haven't just sat down, made a card, and showed it to you in a regular video. Since I am going to convention, I thought I would show you what I'm doing for my swaps. And I've got 60 of these to make. I have 20 done. And I think I have 15 more of these colored, and I've got this huge stack that I have to color yet, and then I have to assemble everything. Everything else is cut and ready to go. But it's Thursday, June 14, and I take off early on Tuesday the 19th, so I need to get busy and get these done. And since I'm making so many, I thought, well, I'll go ahead and share these for everybody. So anyway, I just want to show you how easy it is to do these. Maybe not easy to color 60 of them, but to do one, it's really simple to do. I'm using Fun Stamper's Journey. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, I think I can remember the name. Color Splash pencils. That's what I'm using. They are great pencils here, and they are our watercolor pencils. And I believe you get 50, so I've got a few of them out of here that I'm using, and you can see some of them are really well used. I love just taking these and coloring them directly on the color splash sheets, and then getting them wet with a blending brush. It goes really quickly, and I'm going to show you how fast. Okay, right now I have pencil 22, and I just take them and color each petal in really quickly. And it doesn't really matter how it looks at all, because once it mixes with the water, it'll smooth it right out. So I'll quickly finish with this blue. And now I'm going to a darker blue, and it is pencil number 31. And this one is quite a bit darker. So I will quickly throw this in. I'm trying to keep this video nice and short because I tend to go really long and then I have to edit a bunch out. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to convention, and it's my first convention with Fun Stamper's Journey, and I'm pretty excited. I didn't get to go last year, so it'll be a new adventure for me. Alright, and then the next thing I do is I use a couple of greens for the stems and the leaves, and the first green that I put on is pencil number 18, and I just quickly go over this whole thing with the lighter green. Go in and quickly do the stems. Just wanted to make sure you can actually see this. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see it. Hopefully you've got a bigger screen than what I'm looking at. Okay, and then I come in with pencil number 20. It's a deeper green, and just throw a little bit of green there and on each side of the stems. Then I just follow the pattern on here and just scribble some of the darker green. It is really that fast to do. Alright, oops, I forgot to do this little middle part. I forget this every time. And then, like I said, I use the blending brush. This one's the large blending brush. You can hardly read it anymore. I've used it so much it's starting to wear off. And what I do is I make sure that I squeeze out just a little bit of water. You can see it drip out. And then I wipe it off so my brush is just damp. That's it. You don't want it dripping with water. You just want it damp. And then you just start going over what you've colored. And right now I'm only doing the lighter blue because that second blue that I have on there is quite a bit darker. And if I touch that, I'll lose my pretty light color. And I'm not going all the way to the edges on these. I am truly trying to give it a watercolor look, and it just kind of goes wherever, and I like how that looks, so hopefully you guys do too. Okay, hopefully I keep forgetting this one every time I go through in color. I have no idea why. Anyway, after that, I just start going over the darker blue, and it's definitely quite a bit darker. And then when I'm done with this, I'll go back and blend them together just a little bit. Okay, now that I've got that done, whoops, I take the dark off, and I just got it a little bit wet again, and I start in the light and just move down to the darker, and I don't know, I just think that gives it a little bit of a better finish. It kind of blends them together a little better. If it gets too dark, I just wipe it off. That one's pretty good. I just love how our watercolor pencils work, or I should say color splash. And they're so easy to use, as you can tell. Okay, oops, I forgot the middles there. And now on to the green, just a quick rub. And with the leaves, I just kind of get the whole thing wet and those colors kind of mixed together. Doesn't have to be anything perfect at all. Boy, I hope you can see this. My little thing is recording and it's so tiny that it seems like you can hardly see it. Alright, same thing on this one. Okay, I did get that. I don't know if I ended up finishing these up and I was ready to put them on my cards on some of them, and I hadn't done the leaves. They were colored, but I didn't use the water. Okay, it's as simple as that. I really like how that looks. And then to finish it off, I use some sparkle silk. And of course, I've got to splash that all over. I'll pick this up and see if you can catch it on camera, and I like to check it out myself. I don't know if you can see that or not. Like I said, oops, that's blurry. My screen's so small you can hardly see it, but there really is some shimmering going on there if you can't see it. And I also took a little bit of the Cool Pool silk, and you want to shake this one really good. All the shimmery stuff is on the bottom there. There we go. Now I can hear the little balls moving around in there. And with this, I just really want pretty small splatters, so I wipe a lot of it off. And then, so watch, it's probably going to blob all over. There we go. That's what I'm looking for, all these teeny little splatters. Okay, and then the last thing I do before I let it dry is I take our little mister, I think that's what it's called, is a mister, and I fill it with 70% rubbing alcohol. Well, I don't fill it all the way up. I fill it about up to here with the rubbing alcohol. And then I take the sparkle silk and I put, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 drops in and shake it up good. And then when I spray it, it spritzes. And I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, I've had it laying on its side, and that's where all of the shimmery stuff settled. So I want to shake that up good, but it's pretty full, so it's not, I just filled it. Okay, I'm going to, well, I guess I can do it right here. So I just take it and spritz it, 3 times or so. And I hope you can see this. I think so. I don't know. I hope you can see that shimmer. Anyway, so now I'm going to, oops, I forgot one thing. I forget this all the time too. I just put one little dab in the center of those 2 flowers. Okay, now this needs to sit and dry for a while, and actually I've also been storing them under blocks overnight, so then that gives me a nice flat sheet. Okay, what did I do with the ones that are done? Oh, here they are. Okay, so we'll take one that's pretty flat, and I guess I should start with the card base. I've got the regular card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and then I take my first layer and I did spritz some sparkle silk in the top left and bottom right corners. I don't know if you can see that or not. No, I think I saw a little bit there. I gotta figure out how to get this to be bigger on my screen. So I will attach that to the base. Okay, there's that. And I always burnish my stuff. I don't know why, I just think it really makes it stick a little bit better. So there's that. And then the next thing I did is I made little frames. Shoot, I forgot to grab out my frame to show you what size. I will grab that a second. I think this is it. Yep, it's our Journey rectangles. And if these are true to size here, it's this one that I used right here. Yep, so that's the size that I used. So what I did is I cut a piece of whipped cream cardstock at 3 inches by 4 1/8 inch, and then I ran it through my platinum and just centered this on it, ran it through, and then that gave me a skinny frame. Normally I would use the thicker ones and I would use the piercing die with it, but it was covering up too much of my flowers, so I went with this instead. Set that down. And to attach this, I'll have to admit these are pretty close here. I used, what did I do with them? Our color splash sheets, and I just took them and I cut one down to 4 inches here, so cut a little bit off here and then cut these in half. So I got 2 out of each of these sheets. So I grabbed my, craft glue. Yes, I grabbed the craft glue and get that going a minute. I had to put it right on the edge of this frame, on the inside edge, that is. Turn it this way. Tried to not get this much because it leaks through onto the top, so it's probably going to do that. The bottom isn't so bad because it's big enough that it'll fit pretty much anywhere on the top and bottom. Okay. This is the tricky part for me. I don't do very well with glue. So we get this lined up as best as I can. Yeah, I don't think the glue's even touching it on that side, so we'll scoot it over a little bit. We'll turn it over and check. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, normally I'd let that sit and dry, but gotta keep going. So watch, it's going to end up sticking to the table. If there's any extra glue that comes out, you just wipe it off. I did have a little bit in the corner there. Oops, my screen went dark. Okay, it is still filming. I thought maybe I shut it off. Alright, and I need just a few sequins to finish it off. Now these are not all the same. I just kind of grabbed what was on hand. So the colors are going to vary on my swaps. Oh no, I don't want a green one up there. That's too... There we go. We'll go with that. And I will grab some Journey Glaze and glue those down. And oh, whoops, that was a lot. It's a good thing I didn't do that on here. Put a little bit on here. And I don't have my tweezers by me right now, so I'm just going to have to use my fingernails, and hopefully it works. Alright, one more. Oh, I'm already going to have to make my video shorter. It says it's over 16 minutes already. Where does the time go? Alright, the last thing I've been doing is attaching this to the card base, and hopefully I don't ruin the stuff up front. And of course it did stick. So I cut these, the large, or no, they're medium foam squares. I cut them in thirds. Hopefully this sticks even though the glue's wet. Looks like it is. Oh boy, I don't want the glue on the front of that. I'll have to cut a couple more here. Put one on the top and one on the bottom. Take this off. And hopefully there's not any glue stuck to the front of my flowers. Nope, doesn't look like it. Make sure that's dry. And then I just stuck it in the center here. I purposely didn't put a sentiment on this card because you never know what someone wants to use it for. This way they can choose their own thing, leave it blank up front, put the words on the inside. If I was just making it for someone, I probably would have moved this flower up and left this space blank and put happy birthday, happy anniversary, thinking of you, with sympathy, any of those. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little share of my convention swaps. And hopefully I will have another video for you soon.